Right, now before we get into this podcast, I just want to make a little bit of an apology on our part. The audio for this episode really is not where we want it to be. It's just a bit of a learning curve for us because it's the first time we've recorded with 3 people. As a result, it is a little bit sketchy in places. But I hope you enjoy this extra long special of the Cross the Threads podcast. We had so much fun filming this with Aaron. And the only thing to say is roll the intro. On this week's podcast, I ask an important question.
Would you rather have shock absorbers for arms or wing mirrors for ears?
Aaron addresses the allegations that he doesn't like jazz.
I do like jazz, thank you very much.
And we all impersonate DMO DJ.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cross Threads podcast, a podcast where 2 mates
And a guest.
Where did he come from? With very different levels of automotive knowledge.
wax lyrical about cars amongst other things. Now, as you might have seen, we have a guest. You probably know him. He's
Yes,
Aaron.
guest.
Hello.
He's very well known in the, I would say, the Midlands car scene.
could say
Welcome,
that.
Aaron.
Huh? Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you. So you could say that well known in the Midlands car scene.
Very weird title, but
Yeah.
So, first of all, I'd like to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Introduce yourself for us. Who are you? How old are you? What car have you got?
Well, I'm Aaron. I'm 22, nearly going on 23 soon, and I've got this. It's my 2003 MR2 Roadster, Eleanor. She's actually the first of the reviews. So
Yeah, first in our series that we did.
yes, I've had it for over a year. We've gone through anything and everything really in terms of the review. Like,
Yeah, we really were.
I
It was
say-
comprehensive.
yes, it was. One thing I must let you guys know actually, and the passenger window does actually work. I've had the lock button on for months without realising.
I found
Because
that
it's-
so funny when
Because
you
it's next
messaged
to,
me
it's
about
like it's underneath, it's like in between the mirror adjusters and the fog lights, so it's just all cluttered in one place. And I just pressed everything and then didn't realise that I pressed the wrong thing.
So Aaron's here. We're very, very, very happy to have him on the podcast. Also on the name Eleanor, where does that come from? Because you did tell me. I think it's quite interesting.
I like to give a car's girl's name like most of us do, but actually I name my cars after.
Oh my God!
Is that a horse
We
one?
are in a forest, which is quite popular with horse people, so excuse that.
First the bear and now the horse. So I name my cars after girls that I know or people who just have like a significant impact on my life. So Eleanor is actually named after a friend of mine whom I graduated with. We were study buddies and we like studied on off campus. We were just good mates, and then we were actually behind each other in front, like one after the other in the graduation line. So it's quite cool. Obviously, she does know that the car is named after her. She's very happy about that. But I mean, yeah.
It's a good little backstory.
Yeah.
I'm never that creative with my car names, to be honest.
I think mine was named after me.
You called your car Dad?
I think so.
That is
That's a bit egotistical, but
I mean, there's also the fact that like a lot of people nowadays name their cars using alliteration. You know what that
Yes.
is now, Dan.
Come on, mate. You got this. Come
I
on.
think I know what it is. Set 4 English.
Four. Oh my
I
God.
did pass though. I did get a 4.
Well done, mate.
I mean, I
Not
got a
you.
4 as well, but the second time.
I got a
let's
7
go.
the second
I
time.
was-
I got a 3 I actually failed the first
Yeah,
time, so I don't know why
I was 2
I'm,
marks off a 4.
Wait, so you
I
both-
was 1 mark off a 4. This is so weird. Oh my God.
both failed English?
gets
We
better.
both failed English. Oh yeah, it does.
No,
get
but it
better.
gets better actually. We could have bumped into each other in the first time we started university.
In
But-
another life, we could have known each other, but we didn't.
Yes, exactly.
University of Lincoln. I was there for like 2 months.
Big up
Is
University
that
of
when you were doing
Lincoln.
like chemistry or some shit?
I was doing like science, mate. I
I was
don't
doing-
like science at all, but
I was doing
it.
international business. That's why I'm dressed like this.
And can we just take a moment? Aaron's fit is spectacular. I would like to say,
Give us a
give us a 360.
A 360.
Outfit
Well,
Fit check.
that's about it, really.
Brilliant.
I mean, you know what? I'll probably at some point. I can't even get my words out today.
It's fine.
What do you think? Do you think Carlton Banks or Happy Gilmore? I think Carlton Banks. Everyone else thinks Happy Gilmore.
I think Happy Gilmore.
saying Happy
It's giving me
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore vibes, but in a good way.
Very on trend.
Let's move on to another question actually that I've got. This goes for all of us. Who is the most famous person that you have met whilst you've been at a car event? You've probably met quite a few, I would imagine.
Oh, right. Right. Richard Hammond's one of them.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
I'm so
he
jealous.
just turned up out the blue. All he saw me was. But when I realised Richard Hammond was near me, I was reversing this into a
Was that
50.
when you had it in the
Yeah,
shop?
not my car.
Oh, not
no, it
yours.
was we had the Honda Beat-In, and it was. We were doing a promo shoot at work, and I had to reverse my MR2, and it looked like I was about to reverse off the ramp onto a 50-mile-an-hour road, and that's all Richard Hammond could see.
I would have crashed my car there and then.
So Richard Hammond, Ben Collins was a good one.
I would love to meet Ben Collins.
Was
Do you know who
it
Ben
was.
Collins is?
Just continue the conversation.
No, come on, who's Ben Collins?
I have no clue.
The stick.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Isn't there like multiple sticks though?
There was,
He's the
but
best one.
it's the one. Yeah, he's the best one, but he's the
Okay.
one that's most known. Great person to talk to. It was just hilarious because I just saw him. I was like, that guy looks like Ben Collins. And he looked at me dead in the eye. And I went, oh my god, that is Ben Collins. I tripped over a table. There's Richard Hammond, Ben Collins. Who else? I bumped into Max Cooper from Gumball 3000.
Oh, okay.
That's one of them. There's other people like James Walker.
You've met Mikhail, haven't you? Candy Showroom?
Yeah. Multiple times. He's amazing.
I would
he's
love to meet that guy.
great. Oh, he's
you need
just.
to hook me up, man.
He is
I
just
love
the
him.
nicest person around. Like genuinely, he was just saying things like because he asked me like, oh, how long I've been at work, and I told him my whole story. And he was like, that's great of you because like, you're still really young. You're trying to find your feet, and it's great that you come in. And at the end of it, he was like, thank you for being so nice. I was like.
His YouTube is doing so well as well.
Oh, yeah,
I'm so happy
100%.
for him because he's like the most deserving person of it.
I mean, literally that Audi S8 versus the boat.
Oh, it was such a good video.
Oh my god!
You need to watch
Welcome
that.
back,
What
old
was it?
Top
Does he
Gear.
make
I
it-
sent it you actually.
Hi Mike,
wait,
we
you
love
did?
you.
Yeah, hello Mike. I hope you're seeing this.
Hi, Mike.
Love your stuff. Yeah, he basically like raced an Audi S8 versus a London like, boat.
Yeah.
That's
And
fucking
they raced
sick.
to a restaurant. First one there.
Last one there,
Have you
pays.
seen-
Last one there pays. Yeah.
Have you seen the one with his name Chris Martin?
Chris Martin.
He did one with
He's the
Francis.
Coldplay guy, isn't he, Chris Martin?
Yeah.
It is. Someone did a video with Francis Bourgeois, and they raced.
Chris Harris with the DTM.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a sick fucking video.
That was such a good.
Yeah,
that was really
yeah.
emotional actually. I was kind of like, I was almost crying at
I
that
was
video.
tearing up.
I was tearing up.
Yeah.
We should move on to another. In the first episode, you might remember because Aaron is a very big Crossthreads fan, as you guys should be too. We said our controversial car opinions in the first episode.
Oh.
I'm really putting you on the spot here. I'd like to hear your controversial car opinion,
Ready
please,
for this.
Aaron.
Oh my god.
And as a recap, whilst Aaron's thinking, mine was that I love French cars. I did a horrendous French accent in that episode.
And you also hate old people.
I do hate old people.
Oh no,
That's not
that's
controversial.
not controversial.
That everyone thinks that. And
Yeah.
yours was the Fiesta ST is one of the best cars ever produced.
Yes.
Am I quoting you right there?
That is correct, and
Yeah.
it still stands.
Controversial.
Oh my god, a controversial car opinion.
This is such a
It's so
difficult
weird. A
question,
few years
I'm so
ago, I'd
sorry.
had like a million controversial car opinions, as if I was jumping on the bandwagon. But now, I really don't know. I really don't, because if I have an opinion, everyone's gonna agree with it now. I was gonna mention probably like, just Mark 1 MX-5 drivers is what springs to mind. They're
What
just
about them?
right. Before we carry on with it, the Mark 1 MX-5 is a great car.
It is a brilliant
It is
car.
is a brilliant car. I have nothing against them. It's just a lot of the owners do like to think that they're like some prodigy.
I would like to also jump in here and I completely agree with you. I think that car, I'm going to get crucified for this, is overhyped.
I'll join you on the crucifix.
I think it's overhyped. I think it is a great car and the chassis is brilliant, but it is not the best thing since sliced bread.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's good, but it's not great. It's not outstanding.
Yeah.
I completely agree. But
Yeah.
I think that is controversial in terms of there are so many people out there who are Miata connoisseurs.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's not brilliant though, is it? I don't know.
Yeah. It's just like there's a good bunch of them that are really tasty modified.
Definitely.
But the ones I've come across a lot.
Auto Alex has got that one
Yes,
with the
Phil-
Jaguar Porsche-derived V6.
Rocket, yeah, the Rocket V6, yeah.
V6 in size.
It's very cool.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Master Soul Red as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Lovely
exactly
colour.
that.
Phil, named after Phil
Phil-
Collins.
yes, that is true. It is another day in paradise for him.
I like that.
But yeah, there are a good bunch of like really tastefully well done ones out there. But the ones I encounter a lot, it's starting to become my sleep paralysis demon, that Mark MX-5.
The same as
Fair
the
enough.
Dukes, the yellow Dukes.
Oh my god, the
God.
yellow Dukes. We spoke about those last episode.
Oh my God.
The less said about them, the better.
Yes.
I think that's a really good controversial car opinion because it's controversial because you're offending a whole group of people.
A lot
but
of people.
A lot of people will agree with what you've said.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's too
Yeah.
out there, so I like that. Last question for you. I'm really interrogating you here. What is your realistic dream next car?
My realistic dream next car.
Next car after Eleanor.
I think we know what this is.
I know it's
I
sad
thought
to think about.
no, you're putting me on the spot because I was thinking, Dream 5 car garage. I prepared that.
I didn't want to go that far because that is a big
Such a
chunk
hard
of stuff.
fucking
That's a
question.
hard thing to ask.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
We will.
So there's a funny story that there was a chance I could have sold this in January, and I was gonna get a 208 GTI. I know the viewers are going to be a bit, what the actual?
What are you doing?
What am I
think
doing?
it's a good choice though.
To be fair, they're quite
good
underrated. They're actually, yeah. It's just when they work.
French.
They're French. But at the minute, I've been looking a lot at 987 Caymans,
I
the
remember talking to you
2.7.
about this, yeah.
2.7 because I can actually get good insurance on those. But
Less
to,
risk of
to be
Porsche
fair,
as well.
to be fair, it's another loving Mike moment. But obviously, after watching his 986 Boxster video, I'm getting 2.7. But let's say I keep this for another year because it's past its MOTs. That's good. I'll keep it for another year, then maybe I'll get good insurance on a 3.4S, who knows, but obviously I need the money to buy the car actually in the first place. So I'd say at the minute, 987 Cayman. I've got an itch that only an N52 can scratch. Do you know what that is, Dan?
Yes.
No.
The BMW engine.
Oh, okay.
I've been in an E85 Z4 and an E82 125i, and I really, really like that engine. And if I were to get an N52 powered car, it'd most likely be an E86, so the coupe, Z4 coupe. But again, that's a bit out of my price range.
Yeah, they're quite expensive.
A lot of-
at the moment,
a
aren't they?
lot
I
of
feel
stuff
like
is out of my
in
price
a
range
few
at the minute.
years, they might dip a little bit and they'll be a bit more affordable. Or maybe
I think they will
won't.
rise.
You think they'll
I
rise?
think they'll rise.
I think most petrol cars are just going to rise up as there's more EVs coming in.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
another thing entirely.
Oh
isn't it?
God, yeah.
I
Anyways,
think they're really solid dream next cars though. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
they're very
no.
attainable in terms of like we're not talking about Lamborghinis or
Mm.
whatever. I think that is my interrogation. Over that.
well, let me interrogate you for one thing. You mentioned in one of the previous episodes,
God. Oh no!
one of your dream cars was a 540
Oh
E46
no!
series.
He bought this up.
He was so he wanted me to cut this out.
There is no 540
There
E46
isn't an
generation.
E46.
Don't you
I
mean
meant
an
E39.
E39?
I'm so
I
sorry.
think this is your biggest nightmare.
I literally, as soon as I realised, I messaged him and I was like, "What have I done? I've done it now!" Oh my god! I knew you were going to bring that up.
So, funnily enough is when I watched that episode.
Was that episode 2?
It was episode 2, yeah.
It must have been.
I was watching the episode and I thought E46, and I went, doesn't he mean the E39? I was going to like really question him on it, but then
I just didn't even.
No, but then I
didn't
realised
think.
when you think E46, we're thinking of that design period.
It looks
so
similar.
so
right?
I let you off there, but I just thought I'd let the viewers know.
I mean, it's not like I said E87. That would have been so
I
much.
don't know if it's worth the fact I was sat there going like, yeah.
Yeah, the worst part is that Dan didn't know that I'd said anything wrong, so we just carried on like normal. If Aaron was on that podcast, that would have been straight away. You got that wrong, and I don't blame you because I'd probably jump on.
Yeah.
You. I mean, I do.
You do.
I do say that
I
to
wish
you
you
as
jumped
well.
on me a bit more, but you know.
Wow, crazy. Moving swiftly on to the next section, which I'm very excited about because I've prepared a little quiz for both of you. Actually, it's not a knowledge quiz.
Okay.
It's more a would you rather quiz.
I'm excited for
Car
this.
edition.
All right.
I'm so
Now,
excited.
I'd like to paint the scene for you guys.
Okay.
You're driving down a twisty road, maybe similar to this one that we've just driven down.
Great road.
You're in a car. It's not a specific car. It's just a very generic car. And you have to choose whether that car has really, really bad brakes. I mean, to the point where you press the pedal, it hits the floor, and the stopping power is maybe the same as you pulling the handbrake up slightly. You literally get nothing. Or one with super heavy steering to the point where it doesn't get lighter no matter how fast you go. So it's always, I mean, for example, like if we had Dan's Passat and it had no engine running, the steering at that point is so heavy, and it was always like that. Going round bends on a national speed road, which would you rather have? No brakes or super heavy steering? Both of you.
I know my answer.
You know your answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, there's not much context added to this, but I would say heavy steering. I'd rather have heavy steering
I
than
think I'd rather have heavy
than
steering.
bad
Disagree with
brakes.
both of you.
You'd rather have bad brakes?
Yeah.
But you don't use
Well-
your brakes anyway. I mean, you wrote off your ST Mark 8. You didn't
I
use
mean-
your brakes there.
I feel like with heavy steering, it's like once you go around a tight corner, it's going to be like hard to go around. If that sort of makes sense.
I think if you're
obviously.
wham like me an hour and a half, you're fine.
Yeah.
You just,
But with the brakes, as long as you stay smooth and take your lines and like don't go too quick, you can like just glide around the corners. And as long as you
See,
take it the right,
I'm
if
the
something
kind of
comes out.
I'm the type of person
Good man.
who sometimes will plan ahead and sometimes don't. That's why on simulators and track experience on simulators, I'm pretty slow or a pretty slow driver. So
Pretty
knowing-
slow brackets in the wall.
We do not want to talk about the A86 at Brands Hatch now, do we? So if I was going to brake, I'd plan to I'd brake lightly with bad brakes, but then I realised, shit, so I've got to put it all the way down, and it's not slowing down. I'm screwed. I would just freeze. I'm like, oh no. But heavy steering, you've got to think about the fact that a lot of the obviously the older cars didn't have power steering.
But those, this is the bit that I've said, is that those would still get lighter at high speeds. I've said that this steering is going to stay heavy no matter what you're doing. Does
No,
that change your
understandable.
answer, or are you
I'd
still-
say in that case, that's where you'd kind of put yourself, it's kind of more towards yourself. I think the brakes would be a lot better because I would go for, because obviously I went to the analogy of like engine braking, that kind of thing, like, rev matching or braking. Because that's what I do most of the time in this. It's the only time I'm using the brakes is actually parking or pulling into a red light. Otherwise, I'm just rev matching, heel and towing everywhere, just so the car can naturally slow itself down. But with super heavy steering, you've got the peace of mind of the good brakes. So if all else fails, you can just slow down. But with the heavy steering, it kind of encourages you to think outside the box a bit more.
yeah.
So if you can put all your might into one swift movement and swing the car out, for example, because obviously with a front wheel drive
Then
one,
you've
you
got
can.
a counter steer.
But you said it's a very generic car. It could be anything.
That's true.
So
That
if it was
is
an
true.
FR, you'd try and hold the slide. You'd hold the slide, or if it was an FF, you could just slam your foot in the accelerator and it would kind of correct itself and wash off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say heavy steering.
I think a very strong case can be made for the steering. Would you like to justify your
I
choice of
I
brakes?
want to preface saying, okay, because you just said on this road, and if I was driving down this road, I think I wouldn't mind it not having good brakes. But if I was going on a track or somewhere where I needed good brakes, I think I'd rather have heavy steering. But down here, I think you can get away with not needing to fully slam on the
You
brakes.
say that with these kind of twisty roads, unless you've been driving on them for a
I
really
was
long
gonna
time,
say,
you wouldn't know.
Aaron doesn't know this.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying if you know where you're going, you don't really need the brakes because you can just plan how fast you need to go.
Yeah.
But if you're on a road where you actually need good brakes or on a track or something, I think there could be a case of both of them. But if we're saying on this road and I know where I'm going and I've driven it before, I'm saying I will take the shit brakes.
You know that road that you crashed your ST on?
Yes.
Had you ever driven that road before?
No. This was because. Shall I go into detail why I crashed this road?
Well, I mean, we've heard it before.
It's a very swift
they heard it
reaction.
before,
Very
though?
swift.
I don't know if
I
they-
haven't heard it before.
You haven't heard it before.
Brief
Well,
overview.
I was driving this road and then we were talking about brain rot, me and the girlfriend.
What song was playing as well? Sorry, could we just preface
Skibbity toilet.
Of course.
She was like, "What's skibbity?" I was like, "I shall show you
that? It's
what
on his
skibbity."
car play going like that.
I'll show you what skibbity toilet is. So I put it on. I was like, bit of drum bass, boom, 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 around the corners, and then out, all of a sudden it went uphill. It went to a turn like this, but going like this. So then the back of my car went boop, and then I pretty much just span and then hit a lamppost.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, the duality between me and Dan. You had me trying to figure out asking what Skibidi toilet is in the start. People ask me like, what is Japanese city pop?
So different.
Oh my
You're
God.
from different worlds. you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my first would you rather. My second would you rather is a lot more straightforward. Would you rather daily drive a Nissan Juke or a Chrysler PT Cruiser?
What if I told you I've?
Just get one up now.
What if I told you I lived with a Nissan Juke? That's like.
I don't think we can
So
do the podcast.
when
Yeah, I
I
think
was
you're gonna have to
in 2015, my mum PCP'd a CVT Duke.
Oh, it's a CVT one as well.
It wasn't yellow though.
Okay.
It was the metallic red. Now, the thing is, yes, the worst thing about it is because obviously the way it looks, but actually inside, it's really spacious in there.
I've
It's
heard people
re-
say they're cramped.
I don't. I
I've never.
don't-
I've,
I
never
I've been
lived
inside a
with one,
Nissan Duke.
I think I think in the back seat you would be fine,
Didn't miss.
Dan. I had about an inch or two of headroom
It's a lot.
at that point. But I don't know. I think just quite convenient. I think the PT Cruiser you could like. If I had the PT Cruiser, I would like go around saying it's a Breaking Bad car because it had some screen time in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Is it that one? I thought it was
No,
that
that's
car.
the Aztec.
it's not Walter White's car.
No, it was Walter White's son's temporary
Yeah.
car.
The little... I don't know, fuck it. I know,
I mean,
think
there's
I know
that,
what it
and then there's also like in the office, like.
You
But
can argue the Chrysler PT Cruiser is actually quite a good car to drive because you would get a lot of attention from car enthusiasts because like, people are like, "What a shit car that is," and you'd just constantly be reminded about how crap your car.
I
is.
just
But you
don't-
would get attention.
just as long as I don't live in that that village in Kent where everyone drives an E-Type Jag.
Yeah, then
that-
you would get abuse.
Yeah, no. It's tough because I've lived with the Nissan Juke, but I might have to say a PT Cruiser because
that'd be my choice.
because like I would just go for like, oh, but it's in Breaking Bad, but that's actually my only thing. The same way I say like I tell people this, this has been an initial D, or like in Best Motoring, it went really well against an E92, a Techno Pro Spirit, like really modified one, not this one.
E92 is what?
E92.
BMW.
What type of BMW?
That's all I've got.
It's an M3.
Well, not just an M3.
The only M3.
It's
that
not
had
just
a
an
V8.
M3,
It's
actually.
the only
Ooh.
M3 that had a
A92
V8 engine ever produced.
A92 refers to the 3 Series chassis of the generation, the
Okay,
coupe
here
one.
we go. My
Literally,
car's an E91.
Yes,
because
yours is an
it's a
E91 because of the
Tourer.
wagon.
An E90 is
It's the
not
saloon.
convertible, it's the saloon. And the
E93
E93
is the
yeah, convertible. I know my E9X platform.
why do they
BMWs.
make it
Why
so
did you
much
think they were any
effort to
different?
understand the cars?
It's not, it makes sense.
Why can't it
does,
just
but
be...
Perfect
No, but what I
sense.
don't understand is you got the E82 1 Series Coupe and the E87 hatch. I kept calling it the E82. I kept calling the hatch the E81.
Am I right in saying that E89 is an X car of some description? Is it an X5?
I think.
I worked on one. I worked at BMW before as a mechanic.
I think.
Only said
I
a few
think
times.
so. It was.
I think an E89 is an X5. I want to say it is. I could be
I'm being.
catastrophically wrong.
I'm just. This is an interrogation session for me today. So.
What was your choice? Duke or PT Cruiser?
I'm saying PT Cruiser. They look like they have a lot of spaciousness inside, and I feel like I need the spaciousness.
I mean, so does the Duke, but
The Duke does too.
the Duke is. The Duke is.
I mean,
quite
I've been
spacious.
inside a Duke. I feel like the PT Cruiser has more space than a Duke, and also it's a Duke.
I think you've also got to weigh the fact that, like, if you want some credibility, the only thing you can have credibility from a Duke is that some of the interior bits are found in the GTR as well.
You can get a Nismo Duke, can't you?
Yes, they're.
That's the only credible one, but even that is just.
Yeah. You can get some. You can get some of the interior parts in the Duke are on the GTR as well, but that's not as much credibility as car in Breaking Bad.
Yeah. You can go, oh, my air vent's got the same surround as an R35 GTR, and people go, okay.
I feel like if
Why?
you're a guy that owns a Duke, you get spooned at night by your wife, and that's why I don't want one.
Moving on. So our last would you rather is just so stupid, but I love it. I came up with this myself. Would you rather have shock absorbers for arms or wing mirrors for ears?
You're really halfway there.
Shock absorbers for arms.
But there's no hands on the end of them. Just literally just shock absorbers for arms.
Yeah, but
you could just hit people with them. Though.
yeah, that, and you're more likely, like, you're able to adjust them because obviously they can lower, they can compress and. They could compress and regress. So
you could like jump to the floor and then like land, but then like absorb your own.
Some weird kind of burpee exercise.
Bounce up and just like, oh my god. My choice was definitely shock absorbers for arms. But imagine if you had wing mirrors and they were the same weight as wing mirrors as well. So you just constantly be like.
Yeah, but you'd also lose. Would you lose your hearing?
Nah, you can hear through them.
Okay, so it'd be like it'd be like
The camera ones off the new EVs.
E92 M3 wing mirrors with the
gaps.
With the gaps, yeah.
with the aero, you've got active aero on your ears. It's not active aero.
Oh my god!
I'd put the sticker that you had on your old Clio on it as well.
Which one?
You had. If you can see, if you're reading this, you've been gapped.
Oh yeah, I had a sticker on my left wing mirror which said, "If you can." If you
can read this, you've
been gapped.
Look at the silver Clio with the Clio performance sticker and a Hornet exhaust.
Hornet exhaust. I had a Hoonigan sticker on that as well.
You are just a Mark 7 Fiesta owner. Just
I did have a Mark 7 Fiesta.
You are just a Mark 7 Fiesta owner, just in a Clio.
Pretty much was.
Yeah. And on that lovely note, we're gonna move on. I liked that section quite a lot. Actually,
good.
Just like to say
That was different.
That was quite good fun. I didn't talk to you before the podcast. Do you have anything that you would like to bring up? Any topics or anything like that? Just before I carry on with what I've got here.
Not really. I mean, I was going to go through my top 5 dream garage because you guys have done it. So
you can do that if you
I'm
want.
down to hear that.
Fair.
I'm also down to sit here and not understand any car
Okay.
you just said. Shall I just go?
No, you stay here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dream 5-car garage.
So this is going to confuse a lot of people, but it's going to be hilarious. I'll try to do it. So one car would be the 2018 ATS GT, which
You've
is
lost me
exactly.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly. So the car itself is basically it's basically a 12C if it was half Italian.
Right.
So that's definitely one of them. The second one is
that existed.
funny enough, I only found out about that car from Forza Horizon 4. Then it was like a DLC car.
I feel like I should know about that.
Oh, like a season pass car. Like it got added in, and then
We'll put a picture here somewhere of that car.
I then had a look. I had a look at I had a go at it in the game, and then did some research, and it's quite interesting. It's because ATS was formed by 12 fired Ferrari employees from when Enzo's wife temporarily ran the factory, and she was a bitch.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So who was Enzo going to believe? His wife, was employees. So then they formed ATS. They were also a Formula One team for a little bit. The second car would be. It'd be a 356, but a very specific 356. A 356B Zagato, which there's only one, which was they had the plans to make it back in the day, but they didn't. They didn't make it, and the plans were like rediscovered in 2012, and there's actually one that was built in 2012. I just love it. I just love it.
Yours is so much more expensive than mine.
Yeah, it goes up from here.
Okay.
Then a Testarossa, but Koenig Specials Testarossa. So Koenig Specials were a German tuning company. They did stuff like 348, E24, 500 like SEC Mercs, like even the odd 911, or I'm getting mistaken with Gambala. But like they twin turbo it, progressed 1,000 horsepower, and it just looks very 80s and proper. Like I think you can get like a special like F40 style wing on them.
Man.
I wouldn't go for that on mine, but what's this, car 3? Car 4 would be the Lamborghini 3500 GTZ. So it's the first car they made, the 350, but by Zagato. And there was actually one in Japan recently. So I was like, if I could ever own one Lamborghini, it'd be that. Then the final car would be a Celica GT4 205.
That's a really good choice.
That would be
I
my
love
That
this.
would be my daily.
You
But
know
like,
Celica.
Oh shit! I do know what a Celica is. Yeah.
Yes. That's a brilliant car.
I would.
like those.
That would be my daily, but I'd make it as road legal of a rally car it'd be. So like short ratio
be so
gearbox,
sick.
that kind of thing.
Would you have that? What I always forget the livery. Is it a Castrol livery where they have like the green? And
Oh, the
white
Castrol.
and, it's like a WRC.
No, I'd
I
keep
love
it. I wouldn't put a
Red and
livery
white.
on it.
It's red, green, and white. I
Oh,
think.
red.
Yeah, because Castrol. Yeah, I wouldn't put a livery on it. If I was going to put a Castrol livery on anything, it would be an XK, a Jaguar
That
XK,
would be
because the XJR9s had the Castrol liveries.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put a livery on it, but then also because the HR lady at my work, she used to have the generation before with that livery.
Speaking of liveries, I used to know a guy that I worked with who had a Subaru Impreza, and it was a non-turbo Impreza, which in itself is just, what's the point? It was the rustiest car I'd ever seen. It needed thousands of pounds of work doing. He turned to work the next day with a full Impreza STI livery on it.
Like
rally
the 555,
green.
yeah.
Yeah. And we all looked at it and thought, that's really cool. And then we thought, it's a non-turbo and it's also got no floor. Why would you do that? Style points, yes, but it needed so much money spending on it. But he spent probably, I think he spent £1,000 getting that done. You could have had a floor, but you chose a livery. And it's a very cool livery, don't get me wrong, but it's a non-turbo and it's got no floor. I don't know. It just
Oh my god,
Oh
okay.
my god. You've
No,
gotta be on
no.
it.
That's fucking big.
Bomber.
That's a B as well.
That is a big B.
I do
Wow.
have a fear of insects, dear viewers, but that was a
Brought into a
massive
forest.
That was a
fucking B.
close call.
I mean, luckily bees are quite gentle creatures.
Well, if you would like to know, Barry,
You would definitely.
if you would like to know, Barry, I do like jazz. Thank you very much.
Did you say 5 cars? I've just you
That is
did.
5
was
cars,
your
yeah.
fifth car.
you got that through that quick. We were
The
quite
ATS
slow.
We
with it.
said-
the
so much
ATS,
wrong
the Porsche Zagato, the Koenig Ferrari, the 3500 GTZ, the Zagato Lamborghini, then the Celica, yeah.
My cars were so shit compared to that. I was like,
Mine was shit compared
I was
to that.
like Ferrari, Audi,
I want a Ferrari.
Audi, and Supra.
um,
Like a TikTok kid.
so there you have it. Aaron's 5 cars are significantly more exotic and definitely a lot better research than mine were because I just went Renault 5 GT Turbo because I like French cars.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with those.
No, I think mine were pretty good. I mean, I said E46. 540.
E46.
E46. 540i.
It's not an E46, it's an E39.
We're going to move on to car news.
Oh, I don't even know what this is.
No, I've completely surprised you with this.
Cool.
Aaron probably knows about this. The Aston Martin Vanquish I can't say it properly. Volante Roadster has been revealed.
Yes.
It is a V12 engine with a drop top,
Yes.
which is very, very cool.
Yes.
I've got a picture of it here for you, Dan.
That is fast.
You've obviously.
Yes.
Very cool. It's an
It's,
Aston Martin.
Obviously, it's going to be kicking the heels of the Dodici Cilindri, so...
I've spoke about that actually. A few stats for the viewers, if you don't know this Aston Martin Vanquish Volante, said it right, thank God. 824 horsepower from a twin turbo V12 means it is a roadster capable of 214 miles per hour, and it will do 0 to 62 in 3.4 seconds
Jesus.
with the top down.
I love top.
V12 noise, car very fast, happy person.
I'm so happy
That's all I
to.
have to say.
I trust the Mercedes SLR McLaren Roadster. I was thinking, is that faster than the SLR McLaren? But actually, no. I think the SLR McLaren did 218 with the top down.
Did it?
I think
did
it
not know
was.
that.
I don't know.
SLR
We'll do
McLaren?
the. We'll do the.
You know that.
I think so.
We'll do the blue bottle test. You don't know what I'm about.
I don't know what you're
If
about.
you,
British Avenue.
as James May once
I was
said,
hoping you were gonna elaborate.
if you drive down at top speed with the top down, and a blue bottle comes up, hits you right in the middle of your forehead, it will go straight through its own arse.
I did not know that. I literally did not know that. That's funny. So yeah, Aston Martin Vanquish Volante, roadster, very, very cool car. Just a little stat here for you as well. The only new drop-top GT alongside the Ferrari.
Dodgy Chilindry.
There you go. Spider, which offers a V12 soundtrack with an open roof. I think this is really cool because we are in a world where EVs are the norm. You see a new car and you think, that looks really cool. And then it's an EV, which I don't really have too much of a problem with. I do quite like EVs.
It's
funny.
funny.
You want to see a good engine.
No, it's funny because we had a Pininfarina Battista at work, and there was a good friend of mine looked at it. Was like, "This is stunning. This is amazing." And we said, "Yeah, it's got like nearly 2,000 horsepower, or something ridiculously high. You know, the world's fastest accelerating car on the planet. You know, 0 to 60 in like 1.89 seconds, something like that." And he went, "Oh, this is amazing!" And then the Pininfarina guys turned up and were like, "Yeah, it's electric." And they're like, "He's like, you are?" It's like, I was like, "Yeah, didn't you know it was electric?" Yeah, so like, it's there, ladies and gentlemen, that people will look at a new car and then not realise it's electric.
People don't really think about it at first, and then someone comes along and says, "Actually, that's got 2 motors," and then they go, "Oh, I don't care anymore." People just tend to, I don't know. I think if it's a good-looking car, then you should appreciate it for that alone.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
whatever powertrain it has in it.
Obviously, Pininfarina, they're a design house.
Yeah.
So when the last time they collaborated with Ferrari was the F12, about 12 years ago. So like, you know, a lot of people thought it was a Ferrari when it was there.
Yeah.
And obviously I could tell, obviously I knew it was electric from the beginning, but there was a slight giveaway. The car is massive. The
Yeah,
car is,
if it's
the
huge,
car
it's probably
is
gonna
huge.
be.
Like,
Yeah.
it's about as big as this. It could probably fill up this little middle island here. It was a literal gigantic car. I did not realise how big that was. Do you know what? Speaking of that, I mean, there was a Purosangue a couple of months before, and that's a tiny car. Like,
Sangue.
Sounds like a drink to me.
It's a Ferrari.
Okay, no.
SUV.
I looked at the Purosangue and it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
It looks really big. I've never seen one in real life, but it looks really big.
It looks big in the pictures, but it's actually, when you get up close to it, it's a lot smaller than you think. And that's got a great.
In terms of like normal SUV, what could you compare it to in size then? Is it like, it's not Duke, it's
No.
like
It's
X5 or is it X3?
It's X5.
It's
It's
X5.
definitely
It's
X5,
not
but
X7
it just no. It's definitely. It's
On the
definitely.
big side.
Well, yeah, obviously it's go up against, you know, the DBX and the Urus and the RSQ8 and this, that, and the other, but like.
It's a V12 as well.
Yes,
right?
it is. I think it's the only SUV with a V12 these days. The last one was what,
Don't worry,
Audi's
we've got
diesel
signals to check
Q7. That was a V12.
Oh, yeah,
But
the diesel V12.
the diesel V12,
oh my
yeah.
God.
Diesel
V12
V12.
TDI. The ultimate TDI.
Ultimate pulls like a train.
Pulls like a train, she's mid
Someone would definitely buy one of those and then just straight up PD130 swap it.
Rolling coal, popcorn
coal,
map. Imagine the V12 TDI.
No, with the
popcorn
pigeon with the pigeon sounding waistcoat.
Imagine.
But like with the Purosangue, like it's so weird that like the supercar looks big. I mean, yes, because it is electric. That's a slight giveaway that it's electric because it's massive because the battery's just about the size of that island, and then the Purosangue with a 6 litre, was like 6.5 litre V12.
I think it is, yeah.
And it's like
6 something.
it just looks quite small. Like the bonnet,
Yeah.
like the bonnet doesn't look that long to house, but then again, it is pushed like straight. It is pushed straight back.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is though, we've got like, with EVs and stuff, like you've got like the Renault 5, and they've also recently announced an all-electric Nissan Micra. Which
Yes.
it looks a bit like a K12.
It's
K13? I get mixed up with my Micra.
Which one you-
K11
which
is the
one-
one that's like the really old one.
The K11 is the one that everyone
12
has.
is the one that's like bubble car.
the Impul with the
It looks a bit like a bubble car, the new one.
Yeah. There's the
Yeah.
12.
It's actually on the same platform as the Renault 5.
It's a Renault 5. Yeah. We saw that coming. When the 5 came out, we were like, yeah.
Being made in France, it's literally not even a Japanese car. It's just.
Do you know what else is being manufactured in France? Lancia rally cars.
Is it those
The new
recreation
the new Lancia rally team, the new HF rally team, whatever it's called, they're being manufactured in France. The rally cars.
Crazy.
Which is, I find really, really, really strange.
I always remember that Delta that they had on the Grand Tour, you know, the green one.
Oh,
German
Armos.
cars and-
Armos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mental.
That was
so cool.
I love Eugenio. His collection's amazing, and it makes you realise why he was saying those stuff on.
You remember when he was like, the headlight button has like a word on it, and it's like move.
No, it literally means move.
And he's like, it says it because it means move.
Yeah, literally, like we've seen it. Some owner literally was doing it on the Italian motor, just pressing it. Levati, cazzo, levati.
We're covering all accents on this podcast: French, Italian. Go on, mate.
I have nothing. English.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got very sidetracked from the Aston Martin. Well, kind of, not really, related. But signature Aston Martin looks and design. Big, thumping twin-turbo V12 engine. Very, very cool. I approve. Very nice.
I do
Very
as well.
cool.
I would go for the hardtop if I was going to get a Vanquish.
I think so too. Yeah,
But
I think I
my
would.
favourite Aston Martin is the first generation Vanquish with the shite automated manual gearbox.
Oh,
But
right.
I get a manual conversion because Aston Martin can still do them. They will do because Doug DeMuro reviewed an S with the 560 horsepower engine, and it had a manual conversion because they put the gear knob and all the mechanism through the cup holder.
Mad.
Yeah.
That's quite inventive.
Yeah, so that's my favourite Aston Martin like overall, and then but I also do like the first Vantage they use the AMG engines in,
Yeah,
but I do like that I do like those a lot.
they're very nice.
I do like that Vanquish.
It's kind of like an iconic shape,
Yeah.
isn't it? I think that's the Aston Martin talk done for this week. We're going to move on to a very, very good section, the Facebook Marketplace section.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Very exciting. I think it's only fair. Aaron's the guest. He gets to introduce his car first.
All right. Well, I've got
yeah.
a bit of a good one, dear viewers.
I'm glad I can see pictures.
So
to what
I
you're
have
saying.
I have found. I'll start with the price. It is only $7,990.
So much cheaper than I thought your car would be.
Right. I assumed there was like an $8 or $9 grand budget, but I couldn't pass upon this, and I'm so glad it hasn't been sold. The listing's still up there. It is a 1989 Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit 2.
Wow. Okay.
It is the best thing
wow.
I've ever seen.
MPG, yes. Probably. That's the first thing I think about.
MPG probably.
MPG maybe. Not to
so
60
clean as well.
potentially.
Yes, it is the blue and cream. Obviously,
Ashtrays, of course, sir.
Yes.
I have 50 million.
yes. Oh, it is just
For eight
They are
grand.
so cheap because no one wants them.
reliability.
But they're so cool at the same time.
Exactly,
I
but
really
I
like
think
that.
I think us as a generation now, we're all buying like the European stuff, and we're like, screw the reliability. We'll
Old money is the most important part.
yes, that is true.
Reliability, who cares?
Yeah.
As long as I look old money.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
exactly. Well, it's more with the grace and decorum and all that stuff, but like, in fact, it's in a blue and cream spec as well. Obviously, the specs to go for. If you don't know anything about specs or you don't know what to choose for, you either go green over tan, which, funny enough, I bought a suitcase yesterday.
A green over
A green over tan suitcase yesterday,
mad.
and that somehow carried it.
Sorry, where?
Right, there'll be a picture here of when I was at the petrol station with this suitcase in the car, right? You'll see it, and yeah. But
so
back
cool.
to, sorry, stop digressing.
It's fine.
Green over tan is one of them, but there's loads of MX-5s like that. So then you got blue and cream, or black and red. That's probably like the three
That's
to go
the three
for.
to
So
go
this
for,
is kind of it. But we go through the
That interior is just like a masterpiece.
yes,
They're
that boot lining,
So good.
that boot lining.
The boot lining especially is.
So,
it's like
if-
the piping that you get.
I'll read through the whole listing because this is actually quite good. For sale, Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit 2, circa 93,000 miles. Once the pinnacle of British luxury with its iconic design, refined 6 3/4 litre V8 engine and smooth ride. I forgot they did do the 3/4
Yeah, is
litre.
that the weird 3/4?
Yeah, I
thing
think
that they
even
did
the
at that
Bentley
point?
Arnages were
All of
3/4.
the 80s
Yeah.
and 90s ones were like that.
This classic effortlessly blends prestige and comfort for every man money. Okay.
It is Facebook, so we've got to allow
The
some
beautifully
sort of-
crafted Connolly leather trim and the fine walnut veneer create a calming atmosphere and you truly feel special whilst on the road. In current ownership for 8 years and have been well maintained in this time with regular servicing, new discs front and rear with rebuilt brake calipers all round and new brake spheres. The air conditioning has been overhauled with a new compressor and expansion valve. Recently, an ignition module has been fitted along with power steering steel pipe replaced. In excellent condition for its age, the Silver Spirit 2 is perfect for those who appreciate true automotive craftsmanship.
That is a brilliant advert.
It's taking your
The
job,
only
that
thing that's
guy.
missing is that they said current owner. They should have said current custodianship. I think that would have suited it better.
Custodian, yeah.
Two
100%.
previous custodians, whilst it's been in my custodianship, I have services to a wonderful extent. I just imagine he was sat there with like an afternoon tea by the side of him, and a stack of sandwiches, sipping out of his little tea mug.
Don't forget the pinky. Don't forget the
Right, I
pinky.
drafted the description with a quill.
Darling, I'm just listing the roller.
Just so God, it's no rah. This song is datty.
So we're jumping from very civilised and quite upmarket British luxury to chavvy, horrible JDMs.
What have you got?
My car is a K20 Jazz. For
What would
the
you
price
call that?
of,
Chavvy.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
would.
it is quite chavvy.
Well, is DMO DV? Is
What have I
DMO
just
DJ a
seen?
chav?
It's got
I'll let you answer that question as well, viewers. Is DMO DJ a chav? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Fun
I
fact,
don't, I don't think so.
do you know you
I
used to work in
think-
Curry's in Kidderminster?
Did he really? Did
Yep.
your brother work with him?
Yep.
Wow.
Mad. What a link up. Get him on the podcast.
Random. Okay.
Just hear him go.
The K20 Jazz. I've realised that I actually don't have a price because I'm a spoon, so I don't know how much this is. It could be. No, actually, hang on. I'm remembering. I think it was like £4,000.
Okay.
4.5.
4.5.
Quite good, you know.
K20 Jazz, 4-to-1 decant manifold, ultimate chav spec.
Wow.
It's got the K20 from the FN2 Type R.
Okay. Still
with
not a bad
the
engine.
accompanying
Yeah.
gearbox. I love the FN2, so I'm quite sad that one was actually sacrificed for this car. Anyway, it's got I'm reading here, an M Factory Race Pack LSD. It's got coilovers, and I've written here Ultimate Sleeper, although there are vents coming
There
out
is
the
bonnet
bonnet,
vents.
so maybe not such a
Was
sleeper.
that in the ad? Although vents come out in the bonnet.
No, it's
Oh.
just that I'm just looking at it. What else have I got on here? I'm just reading. It's got a whole new loom apparently, which is cool. Apparently the car's on 108k and the engine's on 105. I don't believe that for a second. The engine's probably on like 200.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was quite
Where's it
funny.
being
I
sold?
think this was like the. It's still for sale.
No, where?
Where? I'm trying to see. Again,
Bradford.
it's probably Bradford. Can't see because I screenshotted it in the wrong position.
I see.
On a spoon. But yeah, K20 Jazz is my choice. £4.5 bang for your buck.
That's quite cheap for getting a fucking K20 in it.
It's probably going to go catastrophically wrong because someone's probably built it in their garage.
That's fucking boom.
Yeah. There you go. What's your choice, Dan?
Have you got it on there?
I have,
my
actually.
my choice was
I'm
a
opening
blue
this screen.
Lotus Elise, I think.
Elise.
Elise
One of them.
Is it one of them?
Exige.
Right.
Exige?
Is it an actual Exige?
Let me play this.
So it was very expensive. It was like 36 grand.
That looks like that
Jesus.
looks like an Exige.
Insane.
That
Donington.
looks like an Exige. It looks like a 2Z, but
The interior is fucking lovely as well.
Manuel, obviously.
right. Who would buy an auto Lotus?
Yeah, imagine. Here we go. Yeah, Exige.
Okay.
I've got your spec here. Do you want to read that out?
Okay,
Just careful.
so 2006 Lotus Exige S touring pack apparently and sport pack. 300S upgrade at hangar. It has 297 horsepower. It's on 37,000 miles.
Wow.
Okay, nitron shocks. If I said had nitrous. That's all I can see.
It's got traction control.
It's got
Says-
traction
says
control.
in the ad.
It is 34 grand though. However, which is quite good because the one we saw at North Loop, that was like 60.
That wasn't an Exige though. That was an Emira.
This looks better than that.
That Emira was so cool.
was very
There was a
nice
place
colour.
that we used to go to and review cars. Out past Droitwich, you might not know. Droitwich?
Droitwich I've heard of, yeah.
It's kind of like out past there. It's halfway to Caffeine and Machine from us. And they had an Emira first edition, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
350 brake, supercharged V6.
Oh, the 2GRs, yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Like hardly any miles, like literally like a few thousand.
Oh.
Yeah, I did
I
like
mean,
it.
funny
very
enough,
cool.
last night I was hanging around with an Emira V600 with the first edition.
A bit sold.
Yes, it was the yellow
I've
one.
seen
It was-
that one.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Exige, very good choice, but 34 grand. How many K20 micros? Not micros. How many K20 Jazzes could you have? for that
Not
money?
many. You had to find all the Jazzes and all the K20s.
Very fair point.
It just goes right in, doesn't it? It doesn't.
Plug and
at all.
play.
Yours is a very cool choice, but these are three very different cars.
I'm thinking mine should win here. Just
This
saying.
week, Aaron is actually going to judge our cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to give them the categories and
But
how
they
to
they
rank
better be
them.
on it 'cause I forgot
10,
them.
isn't it? To rank
We've
them.
It's
changed
actually
it.
changed.
Okay.
Because last week we kind of realised that it was very complicated.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
6 categories.
Okay.
So we've got 3 categories now.
3 or 4, yeah. So
I know it's value for money,
value for money.
rarity.
Rarity, I think, was one, yeah.
There was
Like coolness.
cool
of the
factor
car.
as well.
Cool factor,
That's the
okay,
3.
okay.
So it's marked out of 3 points for each.
Okay.
1 is not very, middle, 2, 3 is
Okay.
very much so. Should we do the Jazz first?
May as well, it's on here.
So, cool factor we'll go for first, out of 3.
I'm going to have to give it a 1.
Oh,
I'm actually going to have to give it a
I've had
1,
shambles.
unfortunately. It's
I really didn't cater my car towards Aaron.
You did not.
About this, I really didn't.
I was
cater
very
it
tempted to get
towards
a Porsche mine one just to cater towards it.
yeah.
So 1.
Yeah, a one for cool factor.
He is the independent adjudicator, so I can't argue with what he
it's-
says. He's the third party.
like conceptually, it's cool. Like I think a K20 swap Jazz, because the Jazz is a great chassis for Toge or Touring car racing. Because I've seen them in like in Best Motoring, like the Spoon Jazzes. They're because obviously those hatches are stiff anyway, but the Jazz is something else. And obviously a K20 is a good engine. Like people shove K20s in these.
Imagine that.
yeah.
That would be crazy.
But for cool, no, I just don't find it cool,
I think
unfortunately.
1 is probably fair.
Yeah.
It has
That's
got a
so fair.
decal manifold as well. Do you want to just, shall I just type it in here, actually? I've just
May as
thought.
well.
So cool factor, we're going to give it a 1. Value for money, 4.5 grand.
4.5 grand. 4.5 grand. So you got to assume that this Jazz would make, at a minimum, 100 to like 298 horsepower, 200.
Yeah, it's like 197, isn't it?
198 for the
Oh, is it 198?
for the FN2 K20s at
Oh
198.
yeah, because it's more, isn't it? Yeah, so I mean, I would imagine it's been mapped if it's got a decal
Yeah,
manifold and that sort of
yeah.
crap on it.
And obviously, so power to weight,
Quite good.
that is quite good, but
It's
Value-
not stripped out. It has got 5 seats. Practical.
fair, no, you know what, fair enough.
Family car.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that value for money. It kind of is what you're going to use it for, really, because I think nowadays you are just going to buy a K-swap Jazz or K-swap your Jazz for DMO pouring one out for DMO DJ.
Pretty much. Taking it to shows for people to go,
I mean,
wow, but why?
I mean, me and a mate, we pretended we were DMO DJ in an i20N through France.
I'd love to
So
drive one of them. Very
they
cool.
are they're really good.
I'd rather an i20 than an i30 actually.
Yeah, same.
rather have
I agree.
i20,
But
Oh no.
I don't mind, I'm just trying to
you know what?
figure out the difference between both of them.
You know what? Concept. I'm going to go more on the concept on the concept route. I'd say 2 for
I'll take that.
2 for value for money.
And then Rarity was the last one, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah. How many K20 Jazzes have you seen in the last 6 months?
I've seen a lot from Demo DJ. Just,
Well, it's
I've actually not seen a
DMO
single one,
DJ.
but-
I'm pretty sure Jack McNeil.
Yes,
he's-
yeah.
Jack McNeil.
This bloke.
That guy. That
haven't seen
bloke.
him, but-
There must have been. I must have walked past one at Jap Fest last year.
There would have been one somewhere.
I would have walked past. I would have walked past one. There might be one at Jack Fest this year. I wouldn't know. I'll be in Germany at that point with the green Obertan suitcase. Rarity. I'm going to have to give it a 2 for that one. Because
I will take that, you know,
I
that's
would
quite
say,
solid.
I think the idea of a K-swap Jazz is still quite big. Because a bigger engine in a smaller car, the Jazz is a great chassis, the K series is a great engine, so it all kind of falls into place. Like I can imagine, if I meet someone who's bought a Jazz, I can imagine like within 6 months they will say I want to K-swap it, or like hypothetically they want to K-swap. Same with these. Like I've thought many times before I would love to 2ZZ swap this car. Like it kind of all falls into place. So yeah, so that's what,
2.
5 out of 9?
Yes, yeah. I will take that, you know. I think that's quite a solid,
That's quite good.
solid little thing. So let's whiz through Dan's, the Exige.
The Exige.
Cool factor.
Oh, definitely 3.
I knew he'd win this.
Oh yeah, for an Exige.
Value for money, 34 grand.
However,
What it
that's a
is,
low
though.
that's a low miler.
Nice
And
colour.
Nice spec,
electric
yeah.
blue,
It's
quite
touring and
spec as
sport.
well.
Touring and sport packages. It's been tracked. I'm guessing Hangar is like a tuning shop because the only Hangar I can think of is Hangar 136.
It's Hangar
Hi,
111.
Alistair.
111, I think this is. I can't remember. Yeah.
I was the only thing Hangar 136, so I can imagine they're going up as well because obviously Lotus the Emira is the last ICE powered Lotus.
Yeah. They've got that big SUV, haven't they? I see them all the time.
The
What's it called?
Electra. Yeah,
Yes.
they're huge.
So big. Yeah.
I never talked about the Pininfarina, but that is
It's
huge.
a big car. I think they look like Urises a little bit. I don't know. I could be
I
chatting
see
shit there,
it.
but
I
they
see
do a
it.
little bit.
Especially with the new facelift ones.
Yeah.
But the I'd say value for money. I'm gonna cheat a bit. So I'm gonna have a look through the market for just comparing Exiges in general. So Series 2 Exiges, how much do they go for on Auto Trader?
I think it should be a 3. Just saying.
Of course you'd say that. I'm going with a 2 because it has been tracked. So
I will.
you're going to have to pray that it's actually been looked after.
Ah.
It does look like it.
No, I'm gonna go oldest because they'll come with Series 2s. Okay, 25,000, 51,000. It's on.
bang down the
It's
middle?
on par with. It's actually on par with the like Exiges. I'm seeing 34, 33. There's a sports touring one here with 36,000 miles for 34,995.
That might be the what? Is that blue?
No, it's white. This one's
okay.
white, but it's the.
Oh, it's a dog.
Hello.
Hello.
Look at a really weird basil.
It looks like mine, yeah. My dog.
Yeah, that's what I'd give it. I'll give it a 2 just because it is kind of in that. It's kind of.
You've already won. Out of us two, anyway. Rarity. I mean,
I'll
like,
be
you
honest.
don't
I
see
have not.
one
I haven't
often,
seen
do
that
you?
many. I haven't seen that many Series 2 Exiges. I think the last Exige I saw was the Series 3 with the V6 with the 2GR in it.
Okay.
I'll give that a 2 as well. But
Right.
obviously, like when people say Exiges, they're like still commonly known. It's not like a Series 1 Elise or the Rover K Series Elises kind of thing. So I'll give it a
7
2.
out of 9. Done really well.
I don't think I've actually won one of those before.
Right, Aaron's roller.
So we're both judging Aaron.
We've got to agree on the
Hello.
score, which is going to be quite difficult.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Dog interlude.
Hello. Hello.
Oh no, okay.
That's our second guest of the day.
My bear.
Aaron's roller. So, cool factor 3. I'm just going to go out there and say it is.
To be fair, if I saw someone,
If I saw someone of our age driving one of them,
yeah,
cool
it
as
just
shit.
is cool.
Really cool. Okay, we're going to give him a 3. We're giving him slight special treatment as a guest because I feel like he has really come in with a really good car though, so I can't really criticise it, to be honest. Value for money.
I want to go 3 because it's like it's cheap for a Rolls Royce. You're getting a Rolls Royce for
don't
£7
wanna
grand,
go
but no, this is where I come to
Okay,
play.
sorry, go on.
Like you said, reliability on it.
Running costs.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be.
No, I agree with you, but that's kind of
That is the point of it, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
But it's got. I mean, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate here, and like it's got good service history. It's got good. It's been well maintained.
I have to say 2. I have to, because it's.
Is this
It
like
is like £7,000,
8.
£8,000.
like you did for mine? Is that like in the market? Is that good value for one of those, or is there just not?
They're
many of those?
around that. They're all around that
Are they?
price, aren't they? I think anywhere from like 7 for a ropey one to like. Well, it's probably like 6 and a bit.
I
for a
feel
ropey
like
one,
it's
and
kind
then
of dropped
like
slightly. I feel like it's dropped slightly because a lot of people nowadays who have that kind of money, it's only if they really, really want a Rolls Royce in that era. But £7,000 could get you like a good, for example, E86 Z4.
That's
really
Clio
RS
RS200 money.
RS200.
That's why I
Or
bought
if you
one.
want something comparable, something a bit more comparable, you could get like a really good E39 528 for that money.
Oh, it's not an E46, is it?
No, it's not an E46, it's an E39.
We're going to keep doing that. It's actually hilarious.
It's going to be the joke.
No, I think we knew that I would be talking adenoids with Josh.
Oh, it's not enough chassis numbers in this podcast. Let me go and fix that.
Buy you for money. 2?
Yeah, I mean, if we could do like 1.5, I would say 1.5.
Wow. Oh, wow, okay.
Just-
No, I think 2. We're going to
I'll go with
2. Rarity. How often do you see a bloke in his 20s, or, well, anyone in their 20s?
I mean, I think we're going to have to go on the base that it's do we see the car? Not do we see someone in
The
their
last time I
20s?
saw one was at my dad's work. They were restoring one.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
That's the thing. If you think about it, out of all 3 cars, you got to think, what would you see? Here's a good analogy. At Cafe Machine, you sit on the bench at the top, and you think, right, a Series 2 Exige, an 89 Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit,
Or a K20 Jazz
or a
going down
K20
the road
Jazz.
going,
Which one do you think would turn up first?
K20 Jazz probably. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
I think it would be.
it probably would be the K, even I agree, it would be the K-Series K-Swap Jazz. Then it would be, in my opinion, it would be the Exige, because it'd be like an enthusiast driver who would just turn up every now and then. So that leaves out the roller.
I think I did do a photo shoot of one of these at Cafe and Machine. It was either, no, it wasn't. It was Mercedes. Moving on, 3.
You're giving it a 3?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, Aaron, Aaron wins.
Yes.
8, 7, 5 for me.
So you lost me
K20
second.
Jazz deserves more.
Yeah, I just remember I took a photo of the Mercedes badge on the bonnet.
When you're cold, your K-Series drops, your K-Swap Jazzes are cold as well. Let them in.
Pretty much. We're going to have a little quick thing here because Dan's got a little story he wants to tell about my past. Car confessions. The most embarrassing story you've had whilst working on a car. Do you work on your car often?
I've worked on this.
You swap the seats, I know that.
Yes. I mean, it's not an embarrassing story, but there's a funny story about those. So, obviously, I installed the seats. When I first bought the car, these are actually pre-facelift seats. Fun fact, on a post-facelift car. But when I bought the car, it had pre-facelift seats in black, and then I found these off a 2Z swap breaker. And they were like, because we know you and you love you, Aaron, we'll sell them for 90. So I was like, good deal. And I took my old seats out, put the new ones. It's just like 4 bolts, and then take the seatbelt sensor off and then take them out. Put the passenger one in. One bolt won't go in fully. So
Oh, the bee's back.
It's
Yeah,
fine, don't worry.
one bolt wouldn't fully go back in. And then, it was a funny day at work as well, because I got locked in at work that day, and my belt snapped 10 minutes into my shift, so I had to like tie my waist with ribbon.
I've had that happen to me
Yeah.
before as well. It's the worst
It's always
thing.
the next belt. I love buying
was
the
for me
belt.
as
Yeah, I
well.
love buying. Right, I love
really
buying
well.
the belts from Next, but they just break. They just break.
durable.
I've had them broken in
Genuinely,
clubs. I've had them
had
broken
2
at work.
belts break on me.
So
Where's yours from?
I was just going to check. Probably
I'm
nowhere.
wearing one from Levi's. I had a sale on, so
Mine's from ASOS.
This one is shit, by the way. It does always come off.
Oh, Dan's actually got a broken belt right now. It's just
from
brilliant
you?
on podcast.
Definitely from there.
Anyway.
So, and I bumped into two friends, and one of them had his work van, which all had his work equipment in, even an Ugga so they decided. I said, "Oh yeah, I'll put the new seats in, but one won't go in properly." So I was like, "Okay." And "Oh, we can do it for you. We've got the work van." I was like, "Okay, here's my keys." Half an hour goes by. So like, good news is the bolts it's in. They sheared the top off.
Oh my god.
So now I've got a 3-bolted passenger seat, but it's held quite well actually. It's held a full-size rear wheel in there. It's held a suitcase in there. It's held.
Fine then. It's
Yeah.
That's your.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I've got one of my own. Dan's got another one that he wants to share because he thinks it's hilarious. I
Yeah.
don't think it's very funny.
I think it's funny.
When I owned a Mini Cooper R56, well, me and you actually, decided to chop off the back box and put a Hornet exhaust on it. Well, there's two kind of embarrassing stories here. The first one being, when we did this, the Hornet exhaust was touching the bumper, plastic bumper.
Yeah.
Drove it around for a couple of days like that, and realised I was melting my bumper. I was like, I can smell plastic. Why can I smell burning plastic?
That one
and go
scene
round
in
to the
Mrs.
back of
Doubtfire. Hang on a minute, that smells like burning nylon.
And I went round to the back of my car and saw that my exhaust was in fact melting into my bumper, which was brilliant. So I decided, this can't go on. I can't carry on with this exhaust. I must buy a new one. eBay.com, Gravity Performance Cat Bag, £250.
I can't
Bought
believe you spent that much money on exhaust.
on
Just
for a
like,
car that was worth like £1,000 max. Stupid decision. Anyway, my exhaust arrived the next day actually. I got a next day delivery on that from eBay, which is quite rare. I thought, yes, my exhaust is here, I'm going to fit it. I jacked my car up, I put axle stands under the rear, like towards the back of the car, just in front of the rear wheels, because I needed to be in that location, it made sense. My driveway slopes down slightly,
Yeah.
so I put the car in gear,
Yeah.
naturally, just to, as a bit of extra security. So I was working on the car for possibly about 2 hours. I completely forgot it was in gear, went for a first start, started it in gear. My car proceeded to roll off its axle stands. I had all my wheels on, so it was fine. Axle stand got wedged under my car. I hit my dad's Type 2 camper, which was sat in the garage. It's not mint, it's in
Still.
pieces, but still, hit the front bumper. There's still a dent there right now. So, Dad, if you're watching, still
Does he not
sorry about
know?
this. No, he knows
Oh,
about this.
okay.
Because he came back and he was like, "What have you done?"
I am finding this
Really
quite
sorry.
hilarious, Mr. Bloom. I'm very sorry.
So, Dad, yeah, really sorry. I owe you a front bumper off a Type 2 camper, which is going to cost me an arm and a leg because they don't make them anymore, surprisingly. So yeah, that's my embarrassing car story. That's the only one that springs to mind, but there are plenty of others because I did spend a year working on cars, so I think quite a bit of stupid shit when I worked at BMW. Go on, Dan. I'll let you just.
right, well, I thought this one was quite funny.
He doesn't have any of his own.
Yeah, I don't actually have any of my own.
Amazing at
I'm a
working
bit,
on cars.
yeah, I'm just so good. However, we were supposed to go on a little trip to Scotland one of the nights, and was it a day before the trip or like 2 days before?
It was the day.
It was a day before the trip. Josh was like, I need to do a service on this car. The car we were going to
my
drive
girlfriend's
in,
car.
matter in fact.
No,
I
it
think.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Was it not? Oh wait, you needed that because it was Holly's mum's car to
Yeah,
get
she
to work.
needed it whilst we were away, basically. So we were going to go in my car, but I needed to service their car beforehand. Yeah.
And then we got a message in the chat saying, "What, you can't get the oil filter off?"
No, it wasn't that. It was so the Polo. It was a Polo, Volkswagen Polo 1.2 TSI. They have an aluminium sump. Some bell end before me, and this genuinely wasn't my fault. I'm not just saying this. Had cross-threaded the sump in before me. Took it out, and I thought this is really tight coming out. What's going on? Didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe it's just been there a while. It had stripped the threads, which is brilliant. And this is the day before we were meant to be going on the trip, and my girlfriend's mum needed the car. So cue the oil coming out and me going, wow, I'm doing the service really quickly. This is brilliant. Start putting my plug in. oh, it won't tighten. Okay, brilliant. Kept spinning. I took it out. I put my finger in the sump, and metal shavings just came off. Like the threads were just on my finger. So blind panic kind of ensued. I desperately tried to like make it work, and I was like, maybe it's just if I put like another O-ring on it, it'll be fine. No, it wasn't. So it resulted in the car being towed away to a garage somewhere in Birmingham, who fitted a new sump at the cost of quite a bit of money.
Can we talk about it got towed on the day we were supposed to go?
Yeah, so the day we were meant to leave for Edinburgh, we were going to leave at like 10 o'clock in the morning. We ended up leaving at like 5 in the evening.
Yeah, we got there at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, very, very, very late. Yeah, not my finest hour, but I would like to preface that it wasn't really my fault. There wasn't much I could have done about it.
I thought that was funny though.
He thought it was funny. I did not, because it cost a lot of money.
Did you say you had to have a whole new sump, or
Whole
just
new sump, because it's aluminium sump. You can't retap the threads in an aluminium sump. Yeah. Anyway, not my finest hour. What do you think about that? It's quite funny, really, isn't it?
But it wasn't.
It's funny
To be fair, it wasn't your fault. The guy cross-threaded it in the first place.
It was more embarrassing for me because
Cross-threads.
Oh my god! That's not actually where the name comes from, though. We haven't spoken about this.
No.
The name for cross threads comes from the fact that when I was an apprentice mechanic, I was known for just being notorious for cross-threading bolts, like all the time. I would literally work on a car and be putting a strut brace back on and just cross-thread the bolt for no reason particularly, just the fact that I was a shit mechanic, really. Still am now. So yeah, that's where the name cross threads comes from, because it's a habit that I can't shake. Oh my god.
Bombo!
No! Okay, it's gone. I'm actually 6 months clean from cross threading a bolt.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm on the road
Nice.
to recovery, guys. Thank you.
Amy Winehouse of cars.
Now it's Dan's quiz.
Oh no.
Oh.
Aaron
Right.
is the Jeremy
Right. So I've got
Clarkson of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I've got it. So the first question is it just the one, or have I got the two?
This is the ones that you sent me on
Okay.
a voice note
Right.
the other day.
So
I beg
the
you help
first
me on
one.
this.
Right. The first one. Name me 3 Italian design houses. I have mentioned. I've mentioned 2. I was meant to mention the third one, but I didn't find a gateway. But I've mentioned 2 today.
Can I give you a little bit of context on this? A design house is like a company that will work with a car company to design a car, and usually their name will go in the name of the car somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. There are some cars out there that,
Yeah. So
like I'm thinking like the Maserati Quattroporte didn't have said design house in the name, but
Yes.
it was designed by
so,
them.
well, there's a fair few, to be fair. Like even Fiat Coupe,
Yes,
Fiat Coupe, many Ferraris.
many Ferraris.
Not the Mitsubishi Shogun though. But I'm not, saying the full. Not saying
I
the.
forgot about that.
Not
Well,
saying the full. Yeah, it was a trend. Not saying the full name, but the
So,
Mitsubishi Shogun was one of them.
so a design house, do they just work on design
Yeah,
of the car, or
yes.
just?
yeah.
It's just so like the
Oh, I'm gonna sound so stupid because I've got a few.
the thing is, I said Italian design houses.
Okay, can I be stupid? Okay, I've got one, and I know it's Italian, but I don't know if it's stupid. A bath. That's all I've got. I know you said, was the other one that you said the one that had an F1 team at some point, or no?
No, that was.
That's the second. That's the second.
that is-
That's the second question.
That's the
Well,
second
I can spin
I'm
it, but
cooked on that as well. I have nothing. You can give me.
What if we give him one?
okay. We'll give you. Okay, name one of the ones that I've mentioned in this
That's
podcast.
the one I can't get. I can't
There
remember.
was an Aston Martin that was designed by them.
Yes, there's a couple actually.
A couple.
There's a couple.
The Quattroporte was designed by another
Alfa Romeo Giulia, the new one. There's one of those, and it's been. It's the one with the manual. The only Giulia you can get with the
one.
manual.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there's a well-known Alfa Romeo. Like it is in the name of the, but it's known as because it's the
Is
monster.
the one beginning with B as well?
Not the one I'm thinking of.
I'm thinking of. No. maybe
No,
not.
I'm on about the monster.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I have no clue.
Should I give you one, and you might be able to get the other one that Aaron said?
Okay, you can give me one, and then I'll maybe, but probably not.
Zagato.
Yeah, I'm still cooked. Next quiz. You just want to give them to me.
You got to get. No, I literally talked about this other.
Okay,
Can you give me the
I
first?
talked about so this other design house. They now made their own car, and I've talked about it for about 5 minutes in this podcast.
It's been a fever dream of a podcast, though.
That's one
Okay, can you give me
beginning with P?
P?
They've done their own car. They've done a lot of Ferraris. They've done the
They've
Fiat,
done a Mitsubishi Shogun.
the Mitsubishi Shogun. They've done the. They've done the Peugeot 406.
I didn't know that.
They did.
That's
They did.
cool.
I think they did the Peugeot 406. Because I was thinking the Astra Coupe, but that's a different. That's
Peugeot
a,
406 is the one that people keep saying looks like a Sylvia, isn't it?
yes. Well, the 406 Coupe I'm on about. I was thinking the Vauxhall Astra Coupe, the one before the VXR, the generation before that one.
What, like an SXI or an SRI or something?
Yeah, they did the coupe one. They did, or it was either a coupe convertible. That was also another Italian design house. They also did make their own car as well. Actually,
I was talking about this to my dad the other day. That particular one. They used to have an Astra of that generation with. It was just a 1.8 SRI, I think, but it had a spoiler from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
place. Yeah. I think Dan's really lost.
I'm so lost.
We'll throw you in the deep end now, and then.
I'm literally drowning.
You can ask us a question about cameras after if it makes you.
For God's sake,
Maybe I will do. Do any of you know what open gate is?
no.
Fuck you, see. Yeah, I actually have zero clue. I couldn't even I don't think you could give me the most obvious clue and I would get
I
it.
think once we say the one beginning with P, you would know what we're on about.
Say it then.
Pininfarina.
Still wouldn't have got it.
I talked about their standalone car.
I know you spoke about it.
The one said that was electric and it
Yeah.
was massive.
I know you said about it. For fuck's sake.
Zagato, Pininfarina.
Would you like to guess the one they did the Astra?
No.
Bertone.
I wouldn't even got
Bertone did their own car in the 2010s or late 2000s called the Mantide or Montide. If I could buy one, I would. I remember there was about 12, 13, maybe 14 years ago, maybe even longer. I had an old Top Gear magazine, and in the classifieds was a Bertone Montide for sale. I forgot how much it was, but
I wasn't thinking of the Bertone one. I was thinking of an Ermshire body kit for an Astra.
oh right, yeah.
That's what my
No,
dad used to
Bertone designed the coupe.
Yeah.
But it's got their badge on the side, so I hope so. Right.
I really hope it's next because you said
okay.
that some of it was like common sense, sort of common knowledge.
Yeah. I think you might actually get this one, but I'll spin it the other way around. So, Slim Borgood was a Formula One driver for ATS, as I mentioned before.
Okay.
Right? They were a Formula One team, and he was a driver for them. Would you like to know the occupation he was known for? It wasn't a Formula One driver for ATS, but it's the other way around actually. Like F1 fans are like, did you know Slim Borgood used to race for ATS? But what was Slim Borgood's main occupation as a Formula One? You've got to think about Formula One drivers back then too. Well, you see the Formula One drivers now as well. Like Jack Villeneuve actually had something quite similar after retiring.
I don't have a clue, by the way. I'm also lost.
So
I did
is
say
it,
in the voice note, didn't I?
Probably, yeah. I've slept since.
is it like a really general occupation, or is it something to still do with racing and?
It's nothing to do with racing, but I think it's who he worked with. You'd be surprised by him.
I think I might have missed this part of the voice note. I heard the first bit. I'm trying to think.
So he's got to have worked with someone that's sort of got ties with F1, or no?
Well, I'll say this, and actually, you can all look this up because it's he actually on his ATS F1 car he actually put where or whom he worked for on the Formula One car. And actually, it actually is it makes it look like an amazing livery.
I'm just trying to think of jobs with a lot of money. That's like...
You'd know them because they're quite influential now. They've had I say they had a resurgence, but they. What if I said Mamma Mia?
I'm trying to think of what to do.
I think Aaron, you're gonna have to help us out here because we're both used to it.
Okay.
Are you cooked as well?
cooked as well.
Okay, I'm not the only.
And I've heard a voice note which told me this.
Slim Borgood was a Formula One driver for ATS, as the company that I mentioned.
Yeah.
He was also a drummer for ABBA.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That is really.
his ATS F1 car, one of them, has ABBA all over it.
Oh.
That's mad.
That's really. I was thinking more along the lines of like being a banker or something, or like in like some sort of marketing thing, not a drummer.
I mean, I could have said, did you know that Eddie Jordan almost became a church priest? He did almost become a church priest, bless his soul.
I'd go to that church, to be fair. I would have.
That is mad. So he's a drummer and then he's just an F1 driver.
Yeah.
Such a
Crazy.
change in occupation.
Yeah.
I think, did you have any more quizzing for Dan or not?
No, that was literally it. Have you got the car one?
Dan's, I don't have a car one actually this week. I kind of anticipated that we probably wouldn't need one.
Fair.
Because we have,
Yeah, I'm so cooked.
we've talked for a while.
How long's it been?
It's been an hour and 22 minutes.
Jesus.
We've been going for a
We're
while.
getting an extra long special here, guys.
Extra long special with Aaron.
Pray for me in the editing room.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I'm lucky, mate. That's all I've got down. Unless Dan's got anything to say.
I have nothing. My whole brain is just fried. I feel like I've been in a maths
He's
lesson.
had like a crash course in like really niche car
I
knowledge.
thought,
feel.
I thought if I, like I said, throw it down in the deep end, then maybe.
It's really legit.
Really has.
It's like I went non-verbal halfway through this.
Any closing comments, Aaron?
Not much really. I just
Follow. What's your Instagram called?
at 2A's1R. Would you like to guess what 2A's1R actually means?
Is it Aaron?
Well, yeah, it's the first part of my name because everyone used to spell it wrong. They still do actually.
That's really convenient. That's
I
very good name.
love the symmetry. My friend Ben, he's got a Renault Sport Spider. We love Ben, and he literally came up to me the other day. He was like, so Aaron, what does your Instagram mean? And I was like, do you want to guess? Like, I have no idea. It's like 2A's when I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
Is he German?
French.
He sounded German.
Did I?
I was going along Italian then.
I could not do a German accent for the life of me. I mean, I'm going to Munich in a couple of weeks, so
You'll pick it up.
who knows?
Sure.
I think,
I'm sure it's very easy.
I think the only things I can say in German, like with James when he said, James May when he said, naturally hands is wet because he's under a waterfall. I think the only thing I can say in German, like confidently, is, oh, das ist ein Ford GT. Oh, that's a Ford GT.
I know German from, is it when Sebastian Vettel said, mein
Rod
Gott,
Bustenstein.
Gustenstein.
Oh my God.
And I remember when he was speaking Italian and he was like, grazie,
Oh,
grazie,
good.
ragazzi. When he was
As a man who
finishing
can
the
speak Italian.
Yeah, I mean, all I've got to say is thank you very much for being on the
No,
podcast, Aaron.
thank you.
It's been
Yeah,
a pleasure.
like what? Like I said, pleasure's all mine. I've always wanted to be on a podcast. I thought this is the best one to be in. So
Fulfilled.
exactly.
And Eleanor was in the background.
Yes,
as well,
she was.
It ticked all the boxes, really.
Yes.
We'll do this all again sometime, I'm sure.
Yes.
With yourself, maybe episode 15 will be
Who knows?
another Aaron special.
Yeah, who knows?
100 subscriber special.
100
Aaron
subscriber
background.
special. That's what it should be.
Right.
But yeah, all I've got left to say is thank you very much for watching. If you've got a cool car, as usual, please let us know, and we promise we are actually going to film something soon.
Yeah,
We
I was
definitely
thinking
need to.
You can't just leave me at that.
So busy with stuff, with uni, and God knows what else. So we will get around to it soon.
We need to do it soon.
Yeah,
We
if
need
you
something,
what's
especially with the
email?
weather.
What was the email again? Is it
crossthreads@hotmail.com. You know it.
Is it
sounds
.com or
better.
.co.uk? I forgot.
Do you just want to sit here and say, shall we swap?
Let me get.
Breaking news:
Right.
Liam Lawson has now left Red Bull, and Aaron has also joined Crossthreads, and Dan's left. Dan's been demoted.
I'm just going to skip. If you want your car reviewed, or have any questions or comments that
Or you're offended by anything that we've said.
that email us or email them at crossthreads@hotmail.com, and don't forget to DM Joshua Autos or Car Shooter Dan if you want your car to be reviewed, just like mine. Thank you.
Beautiful beast.
Also follow the Crossthreads podcast. That gets to 100 subscribers so I can be back here again.
Please do.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Does this mean I get Eleanor now?
Yeah,
'Cause
you
we've
get the
swapped.
MR2 now. Aaron's going to drive away in a Passat. Dan's getting
That's a big thing.
See ya.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll do this all again next week. Thank you very much. Cheers.
you
Bye.